All right, what's up, guys? Anthony here, Special Analysis. Welcome to the video. Going to be chatting here about my read on crude oil this morning. Just kind of walking you guys through my thought process as I analyze the market, not only for myself but for my clients as well. We do additionally look at the Nasdaq, the S&P, and gold futures too. Just want to kind of talk you through the thought process that goes into it. So I'm a big fan of long-handed analysis. I'm not, I don't use a bunch of indicators and a bunch of crap on my screens. As you can see, other than my drawings, there's just two VWAPs, okay? One is the blue is the standard fixed session VWAP, and the yellow is the 4-hour rolling VWAP. You can obviously set your screens up however you want. I share my reference screens with my clients, and I always encourage them to trade on a somewhat naked screen, because that's where you're going to, with the best clarity, see what's happening when, where, and why. So as I came to the computer this morning pretty early, it was pretty obvious we were in a downtrend here. You could see these lower highs were set. Price was actually approaching this area right here when I came to the computer. This was 645 roughly. Get rid of that. 645 roughly. So a couple things led me to take a short at this. This downward trend line, which formed this channel structure. Okay. The session VWAP right here. This blue line. So you can see this very specific candle was testing resistance, testing the VWAP, failed at both, failed to close above both, and there was a lot of buying absorption that transpired inside that wick. So I got short here, okay? I got short right here. Had no reason to get rid of my position until I saw some really, really, really strong selling that got absorbed at the wick of this candle right here. So here I am. I have to decide, am I going to let this trade go against me? Because I do have a strong feeling we're going to push back. Do I take the chance that this area still remains absorption and that price goes lower, or do I just take my profit and be done? Well, I opted to take my profit and be done because I hadn't even had my cup of coffee yet. All right, so I got in, this dumped. I saw this really heavy selling here at the bottom of this candle. And, we had no follow through, and that told me, hey, listen, we're probably going to come back, probably going to retest the VWAP. Maybe we do end up pushing higher. I wasn't going to run that risk. I mean, I was in the trade for 5, 10, 15 minutes at most. There was just no reason for me to kind of let it go against me. We were starting to recover in this upward motion. I did know that I was trading with the bigger picture, but against the shorter term trend. So I was concerned that we placed a low here and a higher low here, and had we not been able to break that higher low, that I was probably going to be in trouble. And I knew that my support was rising the longer I was in this trend. So yes, the market ultimately found more absorption right here in this area. And yes, it did ultimately cross the channel structure into support right here, where a bunch of selling absorption was confirmed. Price pushed higher and ultimately came back to place two higher highs along the way here. So yes, these were all able to be navigated with great ease. It was all fairly predictable price action. It was basically buy at support if you could prove absorption, and sell at resistance if you could prove absorption. Right? That's it. Starts to get a little tricky when you're trying to trade against the VWAP. So I tried to use the VWAP in my favor, which is why I really like this setup here. In fact, I really like these here, and I had considered getting back in, but I had already done well, and I was just kind of done for the day. So, by 7 o'clock, 7:30, I had my first cup of coffee. I had booked my profits for the day, and I was really done trading. I mean, at that point, I was just interpreting price action for my clients from 8 to 11, and, just kind of kept an eye on things until I ended up stepping out of the office, around 11 a.m. So had a good sell-off here, had a bunch of absorption down here. You can see we pushed straight back up into these prior levels. It's nice when you see new absorption in an area of prior absorption. It does give you kind of confirmation, and then we ultimately went on to kind of push higher and recover. You could see here on the 4-hour chart, we were playing here down in this level, and we seem to be holding it. So really big, strong wick on this candle, really strong body on this candle. So we'll see if we continue to kind of push higher from here. I mean, I'm certainly done for the day as far as trading's concerned. But yeah, just wanted to give you guys some quick insight to the way I look at the market, what I very specifically look for. Again, all the stuff on this chart other than the 2 VWAPs is all hand drawn, or hand plotted. These areas of these arrows here show me where, I mark off where there's liquidity. I could see that the market here pushed through this low. I would have been really concerned about trying to buy this, especially knowing that it was probably going to seek liquidity here. Same thing here. I would have been very kind of hesitant to buy here, knowing that there was a good amount of liquidity here. This liquidity, in fact, provided support. So listen, every scenario is going to be different. Every day is going to be different. Every analysis approach is going to be different. But find what consistently works for you. For me, it's volume, price action, order flow. Nothing else matters. You can keep the rest. Okay. Higher time frame. I know what my levels are very specifically, and current time frame. I know exactly what I'm looking for, and it shouldn't be any more complicated than that. Is every trade going to work? No. Okay. That's just part of the deal. It's not, every trade isn't going to work. But when you become very consistent, you're able to leverage size into positions that don't necessarily have to run very long or very far, and you can capture, quite a day's pay pretty quickly. Listen, I grabbed 15 ticks in 15 minutes, on a large amount of contracts. It was a very rewarding day. I mean, for me, that's a great day's pay. I'm very content and very happy with that. But listen, make sure you're doing what works for you. Don't listen to some guy online or some guy on YouTube or whatever. Find what works for you, okay? What I provide is analysis. I look at the volume, I look at the price action, I interpret what price has done, I can give you an expectation of what price may do next. But at the end of the day, it's still up to the trader that's going to implement their trade plan, their risk management, their entry, their exit strategy. So guys, if you found this video informational, if you enjoyed it, please like it. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not yet. God bless, and I will see you in the next video.